Hey you, welcome back to another episode of Kadar FM. This week, as we are always, we are sponsored by our very generous patrons. People like Sohla El-Wahly, Tessa Schiller, Kat, Jordan Eichmann, Sivrin, I think that says, and Michaela as well. Thank you very much for your support.
Yes, my dears.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and from the top, and from the left, and from the right.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah.
You okay,
From the
Matt?
top, make it drop.
His whole left boob.
Two kinds of
It's
people.
a wet.
What?
What was that? I didn't quite. I
Never
just
mind.
heard laughing from Amy. I heard like. Blah, blah, blah.
That's about it, yeah.
That was kind of it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pretty
Yeah.
close.
Look, I just find myself so funny.
As you should.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What a lovely springboard into questions. that
Yeah,
is.
anyway, let's actually have a structured episode.
What the hell is that?
That, you kidding me? That's not gonna fucking
As if
happen.
that's possible with all six of us here.
Has anybody picked up any new hobbies or anything since 2020 happened?
Yeah.
God, in that fucking mood.
Let's go around the circle and say what we learned this year.
I'm trying to think of something that's not depressing.
Unlike,
Sorry, Beth.
No. Well, unlike everyone else learned how to make sourdough, but we learned how to make dumplings from scratch.
Oh, nice.
Like
Ooh,
the
wow.
dough and all. It's a good time. I was actually gonna ask for like a good set of
shit,
like
yeah.
the steamers for Christmas.
What, I was going
Like-
to say, what kind of dumplings is it? Is it like steam buns kind of
Well,
dumplings?
they're
or...
like you do steam them, yeah, but we made them the way that Jenny, you wanna know who this is? Like Sohla from the BA Test Kitchen.
Yeah, Sohla El-Wahly. You can find her now on the Babish universe
Yeah.
since she's
Oh.
jumped ship from the bad BA.
Bad BA. She's doing some good stuff at the moment. Yeah, but she like
It's so cool.
the way that she cooks them is that you like put some oil in the bottom of the pan, but then you steam them so they go crispy at the bottom, and then they're like steamed at the top.
Yum.
But we learned how to like make the dough and everything, and then the insides.
Oh, wow.
So that's what
Sounds
I did.
amazing.
Yeah. I'm
It's good.
actually asking for a pasta roller, like one of
Oh,
those
dude.
cranks
Ooh,
presses,
yeah.
basically,
Yeah,
for
they're
Christmas,
great.
so that I can make like really good laminated. Well,
They're
so I
the
can make
wonton
laminated
wrappers.
pastry, but so I
Yum.
can make more dumpling wrappers. Yeah,
Yeah, that would help immensely. Doing it by hand takes so long.
yeah. They're probably like pretty easy to find. If some places, like I imagine they're pretty easy to get in London, for
Yeah.
example, but like where we are, like the wrappers, it's very hard to buy them pre-made. So whenever you make
Yeah.
dumplings, you have to make them from
Like,
scratch.
Yeah.
Every recipe I found has been like, oh, just buy some pre-made wonton wrappers, and I'm like, where from?
Yeah.
I was about
Where?
to say, oh, have you tried this place? But you guys aren't in the same town as me, so that'd be really stupid advice.
Yeah, no, I really want to go to Wing Yip. Like, I think I've ever been there. Well, no, I have not, at least not been there as an adult.
What's that? Is that like a market?
It's like a big Asian supermarket.
Ooh.
There's like not many of them. You always get them in the same places where there are IKEAs. Like it's one
Oh,
of those
fun.
kind of ones.
And not only that, but like, it's really pretty on the outside as well. Like it's all like it's got like a pagoda accents and like it's all red and stuff.
Aw.
Isn't it like? I mean, it's a
nice.
little stereotyped, right, as an Asian supermarket, but
It's a very unique
I
looking
just,
store,
I
isn't it?
just
Though.
want that good Asian food.
Man, this is a little adjacent to this, but there's a really good episode of 99% Invisible about Chinatowns and like the way the Chinatowns look.
That is a good episode.
And how like a lot of people, like for example, they were talking about San Francisco's Chinatown, because that's like, well, it used to be the gateway to America for Chinese immigrants, and a lot of people turn up from China and are like, this is not what China looks like.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we were having this conversation the other day about how it's like the MGM lion being a tiger. It's about what
Yeah.
you're expecting, what the
Yeah.
audience is expecting, as opposed to what it actually is.
Yeah, like katsu curry is like the most English Japanese food that you could have.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still really good, but
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
I'll say it's still
It's-
really banging.
it's
Like
so
I'd have that.
good.
I'd have katsu curry any day of the week.
The authenticity has no bearing on the flavor.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or the way that we order it in like massive quantities
shit,
to
yeah.
a park in the
Oh.
rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was
That's
so
great.
good.
Oh god, that was such a good day. For context, that was like one of the most recent times we managed to meet up before like a major lockdown came into force, and we just sat in the park in the rain with curry.
Alex, it's actually the only time I have seen you this year.
Yeah.
Fuck me running. That's sad.
It is the
So
only
sad.
time I've
So
seen you in 2020.
Jenny, I miss
Yeah.
you. I'm so far
I
away.
miss you too, my little red boy.
Oh.
It's weird as well because like Alex, you're not even like that far away.
No,
right?
I'm just-
you are
I'm-
like probably what 30 miles away from us tops. Less
Yeah.
I think
than
I've seen
that.
Alex more than you have, Jenny. Yeah, and you live closer.
Actually, yeah, because you guys have come down to like pick up posters and stuff, and
Yeah,
like
we've done a couple of
business
flybys.
You got to
things,
get your
yeah.
Alex in.
Yeah. I was sort of joking on their chat with Katie about this the other day, but it's like a Vera Lynn song, right? Like we will meet again. Don't know where. Don't know where.
Oh no, we're all started now.
I got the tingles.
The
Oh.
tingles.
Yeah, like the sad tingles when you all started
Oh.
singing.
Tears?
I was like, no, like goosebumps.
Oh.
Goose prickles. The tingles.
Maybe we shouldn't start talking about Christmas then. That will be even a more miserable topic, honestly.
Oh,
Aw.
no. I want to talk about Christmas.
You've done it. You've unleashed the doors of the Christmas cabin.
No, Jazz. I think Jazz has some good points about Christmas. I think.
The Christmas goblin.
I didn't know this, but apparently, I don't know where people are getting it from, but somebody is telling the general public to put up your decorations early and make yourself feel all cozy and happy.
Yes, no. There is a town. I can't remember where it is. I think it's. I think it might actually be Leeds. There's a street in
Okay.
Leeds that has like, put up. The whole street have all gone completely over the top on their Christmas
Oh.
decorations
Wow.
this year, right? Because they want to make
Yeah.
themselves feel better about the year. So people
Yeah.
are being sort of low-key encouraged to put up their Christmas decorations early so that they can enjoy Christmas for longer this year.
Clinging onto
Right.
one shred of joy.
As the most Christmassy person, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Well, I mean, I think it's a nice idea,
It
right?
is, yeah.
But, you know, to sort of like keep up morale, especially
Yeah,
like as winter
absolutely.
is now here.
Yeah.
I don't feel as though you know anyone should feel like they have to put up their
No.
decorations if
Yeah.
they don't want to. Like if you don't feel ready for it, just don't do it. You know, but
I
you
think
know.
it just scares me a bit.
Yeah, because it's like the thing of, you know, we all love Christmas. It's a good, or generally like, you know, it's a
Yeah,
good time.
yeah.
But should it last for 2 months?
No. Yeah, well, because next year we'll fall into the trap of it being in November again, and we'll be like, oh no, not again.
Should it start from before Halloween? I don't think so.
No.
When are we going to do our
Personally?
decorations?
Probably first weekend in December.
Yeah, that's an appropriate time, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, December is Christmas, and I have always had to, like, control myself every year. Like, oh, I'm starting to get Christmassy, I want to put my stuff up. But no, it's November, I can't do that yet. But this year, it's like the world's taunting me. It's like, go on, Jazz, do it, put your tree up. And I'm like, no, December, wait.
It's like you're
Like
an
I
addict.
don't want to yeah, but I don't want it
She's
to
in
start
recovery.
early and then it not be fun, you know. I don't want to outdo Christmas before it's Christmas.
Normally,
Yeah.
as I have to like go into groups and stuff like that, I normally have to start rehearsing Christmas pieces in September.
Oh yeah, of course.
God.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Christmas
Mm.
normally starts really early
Ooh,
for
that's
me,
horrible.
right? Like,
What was
Me-
it you were listening to the other day? Mariah Carey.
oh yeah, I also I teach a whole bunch of students, and at Christmas time I always try and do Christmas songs with them. So normally I have to sort of start around about the middle of November because obviously lessons don't run all the way through December.
Yeah.
So I start a little bit early, but in the months of November and December, I allow myself the time to listen to and arrange Christmas music for my students. And the other day we were listening to Mariah Carey's.
That sounds like a
was
fever
it
dream.
All I Want for
All I
Christmas
Want
is
for
You.
Christmas.
Yeah. Right. And like just listening to that, like the beginning, I'm following the sheet music and I'm like, oh my god, she's just going on and on and on.
Yeah.
Like it's this bit, just the bit at the beginning, right? I'm like, this is only like 6 bars. It's like 40 seconds of just waffle.
That song came on at work the other day, and the speed in which everyone in the room yelled no, like we'd all just had like some sort of PTSD kind of style, like flashback.
I was just thinking about how they're not like, there's a lot of like traditional Christmas music that's actually garbage unless you're listening to it in a very specific circumstance.
Yeah.
Like that song in particular.
I have one specific circumstance of it. We were like, and this is like my only strong memory of Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You." But like, it was we were at like my city's local gay bar for some kind of like event or something. We were at the club.
Oh my gosh.
And back in the days when I went clubbing, and it was on Halloween, and the second the clock struck midnight, the DJ was like, "Hey, let's celebrate Christmas," and fucking Mariah Carey comes on.
Yes. Oh my god, I was there for
Was that
one
with you?
of those.
Oh, that was with you guys.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, that was my favorite moment ever. That was my peak Christmas moment.
The spirit
and I was
of
so
jazz.
happy.
The second that happened, jazz lit up.
I feel like streaming services shouldn't be allowed to stream Christmas songs outside of Christmas. I feel like they should be put under lock and key, and then they should be released again in November, right? I just don't think they should. Like, if you try to search,
December.
It's
But
like it's like Michael Bublé. They only let him
well,
out.
no,
in
because
December.
like some people, you got to give it to them a little bit early. But like,
Okay.
if you try to search it on Spotify or something like that, and you're like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
want for Christmas," it'd be like,
right.
"No."
Yeah, no. Sorry.
No.
Not today.
Content
It's not
unavailable.
happening.
Yeah.
It just like leads you to a help page.
Yeah, that's right. It's
Yeah.
like, do you need
Okay.
help? Do you need Christmas help?
Christmas help.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Gosh.
Matt, what is the likelihood that we'll forget to put a Christmas tree up this year?
Yeah, we could
I think it's
just
quite
decorate
high.
my avocado.
Your avocado plant, yeah.
I was gonna say, do you have an avocado plant, or just like get an avocado and put like a Christmas hat on it?
No, it's just an avocado on a plate on the floor. We
Just
kind of
one
just
singular
called
avocado.
Jeremy.
Matt's got this like he's like a little tree now. Actually, I think Jazz, you've got our Christmas decorations as well, don't you?
I do. I have a couple of them in a bag. I have a bunch of stuff that I needed to give to you, that I've needed to give to you since we got back here.
It's like 2
And
months. At
we
least.
just have not,
Yeah.
like, no, maybe 3.
Oh yeah, it's
months.
closer to 3
I've
now.
got-
Yeah.
I've got 2 little mushrooms. They're really cute ones that you
The little
got.
Christmas
And-
mushrooms.
Yeah. And then that little sort of patchwork bird that I think you made.
Oh yeah.
And then like a little pom-pom type thing that was
Yeah.
made out of some material. And then some microwavable Tupperware that my mum bought
Oh
you.
yeah. Because we got a microwave after you moved out.
Yeah. She was like, oh, they've got a microwave now. I know the perfect thing. And she went out and bought them.
Bless your mum.
I still haven't been able to give them to you.
That's so sweet.
Bless your mum. No, because we're gonna start working from next week. We start working weekend days. So like we will just forget that time exists, and then
Yeah.
it will be Christmas.
It'll
Yeah.
be Christmas, and then Christmas will be over, and then it'll be the New Year.
Also, it's only
Aw.
us now. I don't mind. I'm more happy about that than
Just like really looking forward to 2020 being over.
You say you're working like weekends. Does that mean, I take it you'll have other days off in the week as well,
yeah,
right?
we get a set day off in the week, and ours is Monday. They gave us the same day, luckily. So we both
Oh,
have
that's
Monday
great.
off, and then the weekend day alternates every other week. So one week is Saturday, next is
Oh,
Sunday.
I see. Right, okay. So some weeks you'll get 2 days
Mm.
off, and then other weeks you won't.
Yeah, because they're trying to keep the business open for 7 days because it's so
Right.
busy.
Oh, God.
We're already busier than like at the end of November than we were at peak Christmas last year.
Jeez.
Wow.
Man, that is busy.
I mean, online shopping, isn't it? Everyone's got to do it this
Yeah.
year.
Nothing else to do.
Only 2 days off is brutal enough.
Yeah.
Having the 2 days spread out is
Yeah.
worse.
It's terrible.
Yeah, well, the bonus of that is though is because we go into that kind of shift pattern next week. It means that we get a 3-day weekend
God.
this
I can't
weekend.
wait to lay in.
Hey.
Because our day off is a Monday, which means we get our normal,
Wow.
and then we won't start until 3 p.m. It's great. Jazz, what are you most excited for about Christmas? Like, I know you're holding off, but what is the first thing you're gonna do?
you're gonna know. You're gonna know, right? It's gonna be so obvious when I say it. It's the cheese board.
Oh,
It's the cheese
Yeah.
board. I went into Tesco the other day, and there it was, the cheese board.
Jazz, you weren't here for one of the recordings we did earlier today, but we started talking about cheese and we were like, why isn't Jazz here? And lo and behold,
I literally, I was just scrolling through Instagram. Not that I'm not paying attention to you. I'm very sorry. And I got an advert for Boisson, and I thought, that's very appropriate. I should bring that up right now.
I could do with a spoonful of that right now.
Of course, it's the cheese board. Jazz, though, I don't think that the fact that it's not Christmas has ever stopped you from having a cheese board.
No, it's kind of that novelty of like having it on an actual
Special
board,
cheese.
and like, you know, even the cheeses that you don't like.
Grapes, you know,
Yeah.
having like a small pile of grapes that you
Yeah,
don't eat.
it's charcuterie
Yeah,
where you eat all
yeah.
the cheese and the meat and the bread, and you leave all of the
Absolutely.
pickings. Yeah.
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
has given me an abrupt flashback to that time. I don't know where we were going, but Jazz, you and me were sat in the back
Oh.
seat,
I
and
know what this is
you
gonna
were just like, "Hey,
Yeah.
do you want some cheese?" And you pull out a chunk of brie from your dungarees.
That was on the way to Luggershall.
Yeah.
Pocket effort to
Yeah. Oh, that was a good time.
You had a huge chunk of brie in
Yeah, it was like a full, like a cartoon chunk, like triangular,
Yeah.
just full
I
size,
remember
as
that.
big as your
Oh,
head.
Was that when you went to Luggershall? Because I wasn't there that day, which meant it's happened more than once. Because I've also seen Jazz do
Oh,
that.
yes, it has happened more than once.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's almost a staple.
Jazz always gets a slice of brie for a road
Yeah.
trip. I don't
Yeah,
know why.
it was after the Luggershall one. I had to.
If I open my front door to get into Amy's car for a road trip and Jazz is in the back seat, I am anticipating being offered some pocket brie.
I remember that.
I'm so happy that's a thing.
I remember that because I turned up. I think it was the time I had Phil and I went together. I turned up.
Yes, it was.
I arrived, and then you immediately offered me some brie, and I
Oh,
was
the
like,
time
yeah,
when you
all right.
guys
And I
got
just
really
ate some.
lost.
Yeah. That'd been in my pocket all day. It was probably really
I
sweaty.
partook of the pocket cheese.
Yeah. I finished it.
It was
Somehow they thought it a good idea to leave Matt and Phil alone in a car,
Oh, God,
and
that
then
was
both
so
of their
funny.
on their way somewhere that they
Yeah.
had never been before, and then
Mm.
both of their phones had died,
Oh,
and slowly you started to get more and more panicked messages until their phones.
I don't know how
died.
you made it to us.
I think I memorized part of the map a little bit because we had just arrived in
That's
the
lucky.
town, and it was just a case of finding the same road and what looked like the same road from above. I don't know how I managed it, but we got
Wow.
there.
Wow.
Ow.
You really astral projected your way.
I kind of did.
I had to get Jenny to sit next to me in the front and direct me every moment of the way and reassure me every 5 seconds. Like, if I was in your situation, Matt, I would have pulled over and not. I'm like, well, we live here now.
It was such a fun journey because I think if that's correct, then it was like you, Amy, and Jenny were in the front, and then it was me and it was just you and
Yeah,
me,
it-
Jazz, in the back, or was it you, me, and
No,
it felt like a real family road trip, like kids in the back, grown ups in the front.
yeah, and then we picked up Katie.
And
We picked
Katie.
up Katie, right, but that was right near the end of the journey because we picked her up from a station nearby.
Mm,
So most of it was just you and me.
yeah.
That's where the backseat babies came from.
And you and me and
That's
Brie.
where-
You
yeah,
and me and
that's
Brie.
where backseat babies came from. That's why every time we get in the car together,
Yeah.
I'm like, backseat babies.
Do you remember when? So this is the second time we went to Luggershall. So not everyone else was there. It was just me, Jenny, and
Oh
Jazz.
yeah.
And we were driving back, and we went up that hill, and it was just like
oh yeah.
foggy.
Oh my
It was
God.
really, really
So
That was
foggy.
scary.
And we were going away I'd never been before, and Amy, you were doing that thing that you usually do where you're looking to me for
Yeah.
reassurance, and I'm like, we're ascending a hill that we cannot see, that I have never been up before in a car that I don't know if it's going to make it to the top. I'm being honest, and
We're entering the Fae. This is it.
We had to first gear it up the hill. Like the car was barely making it in first gear. I was like, I don't know how. There's no more lower gears. Like,
and you were looking at me like, is this the right way? And I was like, yeah, I think so. If we get lost, nobody's gonna find our bodies.
God, it was like we just entered a horror movie. God.
Driving, I would love to just go down this tangent slightly further for just a moment. Driving with Amy is such an experience.
It's an
Like,
experience.
I remember it was I can't remember in what context it was, but I was driving with somebody else, and that's what it was. I was driving with my my aunt and uncle in the front seat, and me and my mum were in the back. And me and my mum are like pedestrians. We don't go in cars a lot. Except I used to go in Amy's car a lot when we would go to places like we were talking about. And my uncle made like a hard stop, and my mum was just like she basically screamed. She was like, what's going on? And I was just like, yes, this is how you stop a car. This is how Amy stops the car all the time.
I'm so bad. Like, I brake really late, which is not good.
It's so funny.
My favourite thing about your driving, Amy, is your inability to parallel
Oh
park
my
to
God.
such
Oh my God, I
extreme
can't do it.
standards.
I
You
cannot.
always get Matt to do it for you.
I got Matt to reverse my car out of because it was at Katie's student house.
Oh
I
my
got him
gosh,
to reverse
yeah.
my car out of their drive.
Oh, I know that road.
And
Yeah.
parallel park my car for me, and I just remember Matt stalled the car about 6 times, and my seat doesn't lock in any other position other than the one that it's in. It's the furthest one back, so it's fine for me because I'm really tall. But
I have
so-
zero memory of this. I can't remember.
so Matt
Which is really funny because, like, I've got a really bad memory, but I very distinctly remember standing outside watching you, like, literally slide back and forth in the driver's seat, trying to reverse out the drive, being like, fuck's sake, Amy, what's wrong with your car?
Oh, I remember the chair. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
what happened is you
Oh.
slammed the brakes and you flew into the
That's
steering
right.
win and
That's
bibbed
right.
the
I
wall.
did. I like started reversing and I flew forward and I was like, Amy, what the fuck?
No
And you were like, it's how
warning.
I like it. Loose and free.
Another scenario, my sister was driving my car and we were going up a hill, and my sister is considerably shorter than me. Again, my car seat won't lock in any other position than the furthest one back. So we're going uphill and the seat slides back and Ollie's like, I can't reach the pedals. I was like, just sit forward in the seat. She was like, why aren't you driving? I was like, because we're driving for 3 hours. I can't barely go to town, let alone to the fucking other end of the country.
Out of curiosity,
Oh
on
my
your
God.
driving test, what was the results of yours? Like, how many minors and majors did you? Well, no, not majors, because obviously.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, obviously, otherwise you would have failed.
I can't remember. I passed. That's it. That's
I
all I need
passed
to know.
Both my tests first time. But yeah, I got no majors. I think I got
Shit
2
me.
minors.
You know what? I got the maximum amount of minors you could make before failing.
Really?
Oh, Matt.
And the guy like who had took my test looked at me and he was like, "Now you've got."
That's so weird considering the way that both of you drive.
Matt, you're a much more confident driver than me because Matt will actually drive places, whereas like I am such a panicked
don't-
driver. That's why like it can be quite messy sometimes. If I know where I'm going, I'm absolutely fine.
Matt may be confident, yeah, but like I can't tell you the number of times where like so I used to walk when our last year of university I used to walk to Matt's house and then I get a lift with him to uni. Like if it was really dark or we were super late, he'd often give me a lift back to my flat, and I can't tell you the number of times we drove around Worthing for like maybe 20 minutes longer than we needed to because
Yeah.
we had been talking. Matt got distracted and was like, yeah, this is the way. And just off we went.
Yeah, I would be like, yeah, this is right, and then we'd start another conversation. Then I'd miss the fucking turning again.
Yeah.
and it would happen. It would just be a.
I remember that happening when you were trying to drop me
Christ.
off at the station as well. I think that's like your defining
Getting
trait.
sucked into
as a driver.
pissing conversation. Yeah.
You get confused about where you are, and then you won't take suggestion on direction, and then you start screaming.
Yeah,
And then you're going around and around the roundabout because you can't remember which exit to go out, and you're screaming the whole way around. The amount
true.
like, and Jazz and Phil will testify this as well. Like when you were living here and we drove you around a lot, how many roundabouts did
Yeah.
we just circle like 4 times while
Right.
Matt screamed at me?
Right.
I have a distinct memory of being in the back seat of Matt's car and him going round the roundabout twice and just going, "Ah!"
Yeah.
Did you scream just then? Because you completely disappeared from Discord.
Yes, I did. I screamed.
Okay.
Discord was like, no, they don't need to hear
She
that.
broke the sound barrier.
But just like that high pitched screaming shriek that he does, but like all the way around the roundabout, and I'm in the back like, this is fine. Like that gif where everything's on fire.
I'm not going to take the next exit. Otherwise, it's just going to be like a mile out of the way. I'm not doing that.
Matt, you do realise that the law on going around roundabouts is that you can only go around 3 times tops.
Oof.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that was an actual law.
No, you are only allowed to go around a roundabout 3 times.
Well, that's good because I never go around it more than 3 times.
Who's going
I
to
think.
stop you, though?
Is it because it becomes an obstruction?
Yeah, you are interfering with the road,
If they-
basically.
If the police try and catch you when you're going around a roundabout, are they going to get you, or are they going to break the law as well?
Do the police have to stop if they hit 3 times? So they're like, oh no, he's beat us.
I don't know,
You're
but
just
no,
going
I,
around and you're like, oh, oh, oh.
I didn't even have to look that fact up, by the way. I just knew that off the top of me head. I don't know much else of the highway
That's
code.
an organic trivia boy fact.
The last time I drove to go see my sister, I was driving on my own, and she lives in Brighton, not much further up from Alex, actually. And,
Represent.
and I was like coming into Brighton, I was coming into Hove, and I like turned off because I thought it was the right one, and I went towards London,
Oh,
and I was
no.
driving down this
Oh
road.
no, yeah,
in
no,
the
I know
dark.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And like in the dark on the way to London, and I was like, I can't do this at the best of times. Why am I here? I was like,
I'm in
it's
the
dark. But like, luckily the road was empty. I was like, do I turn around here or just keep going? I was like, just keep going until you find somewhere to turn
I'd
around.
love to see the conversation between like your manifestation of good and evil on your shoulders, just like screaming at each other, like go that way.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I think a lot of us have seen that in
Yeah.
person, especially when we've come up to visit you guys' place, Matt and Beth, because I think like for the past like 2 times we went up there, all of us in Amy's car, we like memorized the timing that we kept
Yeah.
missing, or that Amy kept missing, and you were like, "That's the bitch."
I still can't remember it.
I think one of the only time I think I've seen Amy drive, you were still panicked, but like when you drove like without doing hard stops and stuff, was when you were literally driving me back from surgery.
There was so much fear.
And you were like, I have delicate cargo.
That's the mother instinct kicking in.
It was so sweet, bless you. It was just so funny as well. I remember
I was so
even...
scared of hurting you because you were all sore.
I was off my nut on like anesthetic, but I still remember that so
Oh my
clearly.
god! So, Alex, the day of your surgery, right? And then
It
like,
was actually about a year ago,
oh my
5
god,
days from
that's
now.
so
coming up to a
crazy.
year ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But like, we left you in the hospital because you had to stay overnight, and I think Charlie was there and your mum was coming to see you as well. So we like left you, and then this fucking sad Christmas song comes on in the car, and I'm driving up this hill and I'm just crying my eyes out.
Oh
I was
my
like, I'm
God.
so
Yeah.
proud of him.
That's so sweet. What? Aw.
We were both in the car, Amy, I remember, because I was staying with you at that point, and we were both just like,
Yeah, because I was like crying because like not only was I proud of you, but I was so glad that you were
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I was just like,
Oh, yeah.
oh.
Because that's what I
Yeah.
thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say, like, oh, a sad Christmas song came on, and you were like, I hope he doesn't die in the night.
No, I think it was just because we'd woken up really, really early that day to come and get you and take you there. And then
Yeah.
we'd sat there
Yeah,
in the
you
hospital
had.
the whole day waiting for you to come out of surgery. And we were all like sort of, trying to keep morale up, but we were like, what if something happens to him? So we were all like really stressed. So on the way home, that song came on, and we were both just like so relieved that you were okay that we were just like,
What song was it? I'm so emotional right now, by the way. Like, this is so sweet.
It was like Snowflake by Sia or something.
yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that one, but I'm going to look it up later
Oh my
and
God.
cry.
Alex.
Listen to it and picture Jazz and Amy in the car.
I'm either going to cry or laugh because I'm going to picture Amy sobbing in the car. And that's
There's
really funny.
Jazz next to me with her hand onto my shoulder, also sobbing.
Yeah. We were a mess.
God, it's such an emotional wreck.
You're such superstars. I love you.
On a completely different vibe, I was thinking about when Matt used to like give everyone a lift home after we played D&D or whatever at uni, and we'd all get in the car in the uni car park, and then we go, no, everyone get out. Because with the amount of weight in the car, which wasn't much, right? It was just Matt's car. We couldn't get over the speed bumps to get out of the car park.
Every time we'd forget to like get everyone out, we'd like sand the bottom of my fucking car off. Yeah.
It's the most uni thing, right? Your proper uni banger. We've still got him. Like, I'm surprised she's alive.
Wasn't there also like a point where there's a bit of plastic that just used to hang off the bottom of your car, like scrape the floor?
Oh, it doesn't do that now. I've jammed it up there.
Like it would happen, you'd be like, just ignore it.
It started making a rattling noise.
It was kind of like a mystery quiz because like you would get into Matt's car and you'd be like, "What's that sound?" And you'd be like, "We're finding out."
The demon's trying to get into our
I
world.
don't know. Place your bets.
Yeah, we still have that car. I'm really surprised that.
No.
How is it
Yeah,
still going?
God knows.
Nancy.
Sheer power of will.
Not that I can talk. My car is like on its way out. Also.
Yeah, hey Amy, when are you going to sell your car?
When are you going to say you go?
Hey, look, this is not a discussion for now.
It's a discussion for never.
Maybe Wizards should auction it.
Like you were so desperate to get your logbook through the post so you could sell your car, and you're like, the day it arrived, you're like, I've got my logbook, I can sell my car, and then you put your logbook down and you didn't think about it ever again.
Because I got to do paperwork and I don't want to do it.
paperwork.
I'd rather just have a broken car. Shut up.
One of the times we went to go see my dad, the car didn't start, and so we were like late. And when we did finally get there, he was like, "Man, you guys should really think about getting a new car." And we were like, "No shit, Stephen. Great.
Yes,
With
Stephen.
what money?"
Yeah, thank you for that advice.
Thank you. Great. I hadn't noticed.
I did offer to let you guys like have my car. I was like, "Do you want to buy mine?" No, like, look, we need a better car.
I don't think that wouldn't really help the situation.
That are you trading one thing in for something else? Pretty much exactly the same.
But Matt wouldn't be able to reach the pedals.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
also
you'd
that.
be sliding everywhere.
You'd have to get the right position in the chair and just super glue it. Like you'd have to bolt it down.
Anyway, I think that's where we're going to call this episode. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. I'm really glad that you give us the opportunity to do these. I've had so much fun.
Yeah.
Thank you
That's
for
been
coming
fun.
on this drive with us.
I enjoy it because I get to hang out with my friends.
Yeah, boy.
Leave us a comment with your your car woes, and we
Join
will
you woeing together.
We'll agree.
We'll
commiserate
give you
with
questionable
you. Yeah.
mechanics advice.
Share this podcast with someone who owns a car.
If you'd like to see more of us or just the content that we make in general, you can follow us on Instagram at The Shrieking Wizard Co. and on Twitter at SWizardCo. You can follow us on Tumblr at highhopesarolls.tumblr.com.
And S Wizard Co on OnlyFans as well. That's a new one.
No.
Doesn't exist.
No.
Don't do that.
Nope. No crumbly old wizard boba here, thank you. Thank you very much for listening, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
See you next time.
Be safe.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye now.